standing all or snoozing or in the transit. Now that I've initiated your movement, I have to wait till that happens because you're walking around. So please make it fast, because we are eating into our speaker's time. Can I request students to be a little quicker? Those of you standing, please come. Okay, this side please. Those of you who are filling there, come and fill in the front. I request organizers to do this from now on for all the sessions, so that while you get the chairpersons and speakers, this exercise can happen. Anyhow, the first session is all meant to do to set the stage, and I'm sure our physician and student delegates also will follow this in sessions to come. Okay, I think it's time for us to call our first speaker, my very dear friend, a proud fellow Vice Chancellor of the university that we all look up to. As he was introduced, he's been a phenomenal leader, pioneering many initiatives, and at the same time, his talks are well sought after, and I was very happy to know that he has got a very mystical sounding title for his talk. For a neuroscientist to give that kind of a mystical sounding talk, it only throws up more opportunities for somebody like Dr. Manjunath. I request Dr. Manjunath to talk on this very mystically profound topic, mind over matter. Dr. Manjunath, please.
Well, good afternoon. How are you all? Still settling down? Food has settled down? If food has settled down, then I was just talking to Dr. Babu Joseph, our chairperson. Two things can happen. Mind over medicine, I don't know. Mind over matter takes over. So then you will all go to sleep. So when Dr. Sujata asked me to talk about this subject, certainly mystical subject, mind over medicine, I was seriously just Googling. Then I found this picture. This picture appeared very interesting. Okay, there are many mushrooms, and there is brain, and there is human being, and there is connections from this world to outside world. And probably the outside world is talking to the inside world, and then doing all that what is needed to maintain something called homeostasis. What's the purpose of life? To remain happy, number one, right? So apart from all that, you want to remain healthy, you want to earn money, you want to do multiple things. Finally, all that brings in a balance in your life. To remain healthy, what is needed is homeostasis. The balance within your physiological system is called as homeostasis. So how do we achieve? Can I just get a slide changer? Otherwise, I will be stuck with this slide. Too many mushrooms will come out. Having said that, there's a big debate going on in the world. They say that, yes, it's very important for you to really react to an external agent. It can be a chemical what you consume as medicine. It can be a thought process or a behavioral change which you see because of your interaction with the environment. Or it can be something which certainly brings in a change without your knowledge. Some things are with your knowledge, some things are without your knowledge. So what we are interested is to see that change which happens without your knowledge. Without your knowledge is what the present day modern medical world is looking at. I consume a pill, what happens? I don't need to worry. It should work. Somebody has a cancer, you want to fix it, you put them through a series of chain of treatments, be it a medical treatment, be it a surgical intervention or radiation, but finally, an individual's participation is not expected. But what you learn in naturopathy is the individual who is going to do everything apart after what this individual has been bombarded with. What you bombard? A basket of chemicals, an activity which can either so-called remove, damage, or destroy that part of the body or the cell, group of cells, which are creating trouble to you. So now, what is most important for us? Which direction should I use this? Here? Got it. Yeah, it's working. Thank you. Huh? Yeah. As they are taking some time, let us also go to the second part of it, the power of belief in healing. We always ask this question that do you need to believe whether a system of medicine, what you are using, works or not? How many of you say yes? Whether belief in a system is needed or not? Yes or no? Little louder. Excellent. All of you believe in naturopathy, right? If there is one person, if I have to say, without any further evidence.
You say next slide, he will do it.
Okay, perfect. Who believes in the system of naturopathy is my chairperson, Dr. Babu Joseph. His whole life has been an example for the belief system in the discipline called naturopathy, and he has brought in huge amount of change. I was told that I have to say change, next slide please. Thank you, great. With belief or without belief, what we are seeing today is this. This is one of the recent publication of 2017 which talks about your health care may kill you, and what is the quote and unquote? Due to medical errors. I am talking about what has been accepted as a system of medicine where belief system is not a valid means of handling your health. So now this says that you can see the medical errors have estimated to have contributed for as many as 251,000 deaths annually in the United States. This is just not even a tip of the iceberg. There are so many. I am talking about errors in medical handling of a patient can result in n number of issues which can even result in death. Can you please go back? No. Yep, please. Thank you. So if you come little down, the medical errors are the third leading cause of death. So now, can you say proudly that I have taken a decision to become a naturopath where I am not going to contribute to this? Right? None of you are going to contribute to this in the world. All of you are going to repair this, are going to create an awareness in the world, because this is a serious issue. Can you believe that it is one of, the third leading cause, too dangerous. then probably we are missing something. Next one. What is that we are missing? Can be explained in two ways. Number one, I was asked to touch upon this fascinating thing called mind. Okay, so we have the two components here according to neuroscience and according to yoga. Yoga is not limited to yoga as we understand. Yoga means all that knowledge base of the East. Mind is the functional unit of brain cells or the nervous system. Is it yes or no? Mind is the functional unit of brain cells. Yes or no? Little louder. How many of you say no? Minority group is sitting here. So many of them are researchers. They don't know what they are doing. Mind can't exist without brain. How many of you say yes or no? Yes. Mind can't exist without brain. How many of you say yes, mind can't exist without brain? There's one person, 2, 3. Good. The minority is increasing. Smaller, it's becoming smaller and smaller. It's a math-based approach. All of you agree with that. If you don't agree, I will explain later. Don't worry about it. Let us look at the yogic perspective. Mind is the conglomeration of thoughts. Whether there is brain or not, the thoughts are there. It's a conglomeration of thought. The number of thoughts can be more or less, but it is not limited to your brain, is what the yogic perspective says. Mind can exist far beyond the brain. And of course, they follow a consciousness-based approach. I am going to elaborate on it. Next. If you go with the neuroscience perspective, this is where it ends. Okay? So, 90% of brain growth happens before 5 years of your life. 90%. So, remaining hardly the 10% provides a variable experience. All of us do lots, right? You hold your nose, do right nostril, left nostril, alternate nostril, do Brahmari Pranayama, do 100 things. To do what? To influence your brain, cognitive function, and to make its efficiency better. And you are playing only with the 10% of that flexible part of your brain or the neuroplastic brain. But plasticity continues till your death. Many people say that as age advances, plasticity reduces. Honestly speaking, I am a researcher on aging. That's my passion. If you really want to understand how it works, you can augment your aging process successfully whereby you can slow it down. Neural plasticity can be increased with the practice of yoga, no doubt about it. Next one. So this is probably most of you have studied in your anatomy, right? So we have the biggest brain. Of course, few other animals have got little bigger brain than us. But the important part is the red part of the brain called the frontal lobe, which is also called as a character cortex. The cortex which makes your character, which contributes to several of your cognitive processes, is called your character cortex. It is highly evolved in human beings. That's what we are going to exploit as we move forward, because when you talk about mind over matter, mind over medicine, you are going to use this part of the brain and explode it. Next. Each component or each lobe of your brain contributes to several of the functions. But the central part of the brain, what you call it as the limbic system, which contributes to your memories, hearing, behavior, emotions, etc., out of which memory and behavior are very important. This is the culprit. If you want to achieve many things, you have to master it. You want to really spoil your day, you have to play with this part of the brain called emotion cortex. While all others are going to play the devil's advocate in guiding you not to play with your emotion cortex. Next one. As I said, the whole focus is on this troublemaker. okay, called limbic system. There are different structures. Don't worry about the structures. What is most important is, once again, how do you really translocate your thought process beyond this? Next one. If you really want to understand and move beyond your limbic system or your brain and beyond, or matter-based approach, you have to understand only one shloka of yoga, which all of you have studied. Right? You have studied this shloka. Purnamadaha, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate. Right? Purnasya Purnamadaya, Purnameva avashishyate. All of us have asked this question. I am a human being coming and standing here on the next to the podium here today and talking. From where did I come? If I have come from something, has that something has become smaller? Have I minus something from that bigger entity? Right? When I come out of something and when I am managing here, whether both these entities are same or different, if these are same, then what is the connection between them? Very deeper meaning attached with this one particular shloka, which talks about the philosophy of your mind. We talk about your connection with the universe. Very difficult to connect such a thing. You also talk about connection between the individual consciousness with the universal consciousness. Certainly difficult to understand. But the minute you understand that there is something beyond this, you will start realizing that you can play with this body much more effectively, much more comfortably, using this great tool called the mind. Next one. There is a process described in Taittiriya Upanishad. There is a process called Panchikarana. Many of the people write it wrongly. Okay, this is Annamaya Kosha, then there is Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnana, Ananda and extension. Ananda extends like this. Absolutely not so. What Taittiriya describes. Panchikarana is going inwards. In and in and in and in. The dot is your Anandamaya Kosha. Right? Why is the dot Anandamaya Kosha? Whereby you can disappear. What is that atom? What is that molecule? What is that particle? What is that wave? All that which disappears in as energy. Packet of energy. So that's what Taittiriya Upanishad has spoken. Next one. When you really want to bring in little deeper components of mind, you have to seriously understand the associate connotations. In modern medicine, you talk about mind, it's all connected with those brain areas, right? Thought processes regulated by your brain areas. But in the Eastern wisdom, when you talk, please remember these four components called Chitta Vrittis, Chitta Bhumis, Chitta Vikshepas and Kleshas. Next. I am going to define these three components, okay? Number one, the stress producing factors. You want use mind over medicine, you need to pick these components. Number one, which are those stress producing factors? Which are your kleshas, avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha, which is known to each one of you. There is nothing special in this. But what is most important is using them for repairing process. How do you bring that component into your therapy? Then you will see whether an individual is conscious or not conscious, whether he is participating or not. You can produce the same effect of a medicine using the tool called mind. Next one. The second one is understanding the states of mind. People get confused with Chitta Vrittis and Chitta Bhumis. States of mind are very important. Okay? I am going to talk about the Chitta Vrittis in the next slide. Chitta Bhumis, where you are looking at what is that state of mind you are in now. How many of you are in Ekagra? I am giving you a hint. How many of you are in Ekagra? A state of the mind called Ekagra. How many of you are in? Front row? You are not in Ekagra. Okay? It's as simple as focused attention. How many of you are focusing your attention now? How many are focusing your attention? Good number of you. The problem is the description in Sanskrit. Okay? So that's what we need to know, because focused attention has got thousands of connotations. Ekagra is much, much, much bigger than that. How many of you are in the state called Kshipta and Vikshipta? Kshipta and Vikshipta are those states which simply confuses you. Okay, I don't want to go to the dictionary meaning of that. Confused state of mind. Are you confused to know that you have joined a wrong system of medicine? Anybody confused? You are in a right system of medicine, right? You are in right colleges where you are studying? Yes? No is... Your teachers are listening to you. Okay? Dr. Naveen says, at this point of time, we don't have a solution. Having said that, these are very simple tools for you to understand how you really want to pick your mind, how you want to play with your mind, and how you want to manipulate the mind of your patient in that most positive way. And the last one is Niruddha. Niruddha is also a state of mind. Each one of us want to reach the state of Niruddhata. Niruddhata talks about making it so focused that you don't need to focus. You want to do your anatomy, physiology, pathology, etc. You focus so much that finally you give up. Right? So that giving up is Niruddhata. But this is on the other side of the spectrum. Naturally you give up, but understanding everything about it. That's the beauty of Niruddhata. Next one. The third component I said, occupations of the mind. What is the difference between states of mind and occupations of the mind? All of you fill in your application, right? Your name, age, sex, occupation. So then you proudly say, I am a professor, I am a researcher, I am a naturopathy physician. That's your occupation. What does that mean? Your occupation is a naturopathy physician. That means you are completely wedded to doing one activity in your life. You can use other activities, but you are doing only one activity. Your mind also asks for it. Mind says, at one given point of time, I will do one job. You ask your mind to do multitasking, it will do. But whichever you prioritize, it will give importance to. But finally, what is most important is for you to pick those most important aspects, like how do you balance between your viparyaya, vikalpa and nidra. The other two you forget about it. Okay, pramana and smriti. To maintain your pramana, to remain as a witness here, to listen to somebody, your smriti is essential. For you to use your smriti, your pramana is essential. These two go hand in hand. Without them, you cannot achieve anything. If somebody says that your mind does only one, mind certainly does a multitasking. It uses, when it is doing pramana, it is using smriti. When it is using smriti, it is pulling you to be a witness. But the next three culprits, like viparyaya, vikalpa and nidra, are the ones. Nidra is often confused or spoken as sleep. So some of you probably are very good at opening your eyes and sleeping. Your friends are there, right? They can keep their eyes open, but yet they sleep. Some of them wearing spectacles, very difficult to find out whether they are sleeping or they are awake. It's so beautiful that we need to understand, because we are talking all about lifestyle medicine. When you want to really talk about mind over medicine, you seriously need to understand where do you actually plug in. Next one. The last one is Vikshepas. So there's a big list over there which is known to you. We say that allopathic system of medicine works on, is a symptom-based medicine. If you look at Sahabuvas of Vikshepa, we also work on the symptoms. These are all the symptoms. Vyadhisthana samshaya pramadalasya virati Bhranti darshana alabdha bhumikartva anavasti tattvani. If you really want to look at them, each one is a symptom. If you understand these symptoms, you know where to fix. You don't need to go to a pharmacy to get a medication to fix this. It's as simple as a symptom. And where do you fix that? You go back. You come back to the original Vikshepas. Dukkha daurmanasya angame jetva shwasa prashwasa. As simple as your shwasa prashwasa. Simple breath regulation can solve 90% of your problems. Next one. This is the summary slide for you. Why mind is more important than medicine? Because it is not just limited there. I have stretched it upwards and downwards. You have in between the vrittis and kleshas. Above you have vasana, sanskara and chitta. Somebody says that it is hereditary problem. You feel very proud in accepting it. Somebody says it is coming from your vasanas. It is coming from your samskara. Then you have a difficulty. Right? That's where you seriously need to understand. There is such a definition in our medicine, yogic medicine, where you can certainly understand and fix them. Next one. Next. Can you go to the next? I am now just putting few questions because Naveen said that we will have some discussion on some questions. Okay? So this is, if somebody wants to know about mind over medicine, this is one person, a medical doctor, who has worked extensively on this, purely based on her own experience. Based in California, had lots of serious issues. Then she was seeing all the problems, and when it happened to herself, then she said, probably I'm missing something. Then she started exploring. When she explored, she realized that it is little beyond the physical understanding of medicine. And then she explored what is called mind. Today she runs a huge training program on the same name, Mind Over Medicine. And there's a book written by her. Next one. It's not that. This is another guy who has written another book, Can the Mind Kill You or Cure? Because you always worry, saying that medicines kill people, yoga never kills, mind never kills, because it's all very nice to handle. Today, if you go to the next one, this is Robin Blake's book. Some of you are interested, please read that. This is all to do with why these two people have found mind-body medicine or mind over medicine as the choice, because there is an understanding of the healing effects of belief in medical practices and spirituality. So this article talks about so-called, in medical research in particular, placebo effect. We look at placebo is the true healer. There's a lot of work which has gone into it. We don't need to do any research about placebo. No, placebo comes from a Latin word, placeo. Placeo. Placeo stands for to please. Okay? Whom to please? Probably for several reasons. You want to please yourself. So you start telling yourself that I am doing better. I started taking a medication. Somebody gave me a medication. You like that person a lot. Then you started understanding that, yes, probably it's working, so I'm feeling better. Actually, it's not working. The journey has started from medical understanding of something which is not active, something which is not evidence-based, something which is not acceptable as placebo. Unfortunate. Many times when we want to do a clinical trial on yoga, we need to have a sham therapy or something which you use similar to an active intervention, but it doesn't have the active ingredient of the treatment for that particular problem. That's what all that referred to as placebo. So now, when you give yoga therapy, many people say that, how do you know that it's yoga which is working? It's placebo effect. They are trying to please you, either a person giving the intervention or somebody doing research. They want to please them. So they start selling last week to this week, I'm really feeling better. I'm feeling good. The journey has started from there. But this particular publication in an Elsevier journal talks about all that what matters. A belief is a mental acceptance or conviction in the truth or activity of a statement, idea, or proposition. It comes with a huge dividend, a belief system. So I tried bringing the other components like Niruddhata, Chitta Bhubis, Chitta Vikshepas, etc. to link it to this, to tell you that when do your belief system becomes a part of your natural acceptance process. You don't need to believe it anymore. It works for you. When you take your mind to a state of Niruddhata, it just manifests. Your body understands. Next one. Next. Next, please. Next slide. Thank you. There's a lot of interest today on this component called positive emotions and your health. I have put this slide in particular, taken from the National Institute of Health, bringing in as the latest news in health. This is known to Eastern philosophers and Eastern practitioners thousands of years back, right? Positive emotions plays a big role, and negative emotions can also have a big role. But what is most important in this for you to pick is all that what is given on the right side, okay, are all those the philosophical components mentioned in your yogic practices which can impact your mind. See, tomorrow, unless you practice it like the way NIH has prescribed it, they will be using all this knowledge, but you will not be knowing that what you studied in BNYS is the same thing which somebody else is using very professionally. So that's the beauty of its connectivity today in the world. Next one. This gives you an idea how many people are interested today in this component called positive attitude, positive emotions, and positive thinking. You look at those publications between 2010 to 2025, hardly around a decade. The number of publications, you see 53,398 publications are there. Somebody has also put on gaming, okay? So can gaming introduce those positive emotions and thoughts? Probably yes, but all that what is important is to induce that positive emotion and thought, which can influence you. And the number of publications have significantly increased. Next one. This is another latest from New England Journal of Medicine, which looked at placebo effects in medicine. This is the summation of many of those publications. And if you once again put the same keyword, you will get at least few hundreds of publications. Finally, it will come and end at how your mind works. Next one. What I am more interested in is these two components. I am in the last part of my presentation. There is something called conscious intelligence. We are always thinking that when you give a medication, something will work in your body because there is a component of artificial intelligence in your body is working. Truly speaking, it's the conscious intelligence which works, which makes everything happen. What happens when your conscious intelligence is at its best? There can be a possibility of seeing a process called biological transmutation. Dr. Raghavendra is an expert in immunology, but there is more research needed in this area. There was a Swamiji visiting our university. We have a tendency of asking anybody coming to our university that, can you please volunteer for a small study? So the speciality of this Swamiji was he used to consume half a liter of milk in the morning, half a liter of milk in the evening. So then our special interest was to see what kind of deficiencies this person has, because he is not consuming many things. Today we consume everything, still we have vitamin D deficiency, B12 deficiency, and a big list of deficiencies. So now this person is not consumed any of that for the last 45 years. 45 years. So now we will look at his biochemistry. His biochemistry was like a typical textbook referential normative values. How is it possible? How somebody is not consuming anything, but you have all the elements in your body. There's a possibility of a phenomenon called biological transmutation. Still not known how it happens, but it happens. Your body can produce what is needed for you. Right? So we had done some studies in various parts of the world, including Antarctica. What we saw was, if your conscious intelligence is active, what happens is your body can understand what is needed. So now your body wants more of those particular, the gene expression of those particular genes, which can protect you in an environment which is testing you. So then body switches on those mechanisms. That's what basically happens when you give your body an opportunity. The theme of this conference is you heal yourself, right? So return to nature. Return to nature means don't go and hug a tree. Certainly go and hug a tree. Return to nature means return to your true nature. Get back to your home. Get back to your true self. Then that healing process starts. How it happens? One side, chemical factory. Another side, the neurobiology starts working. On the third front, it opens up your consciousness fields to a greater levels of consciousness. Next, the last one. We are all interested in this, right? Because we want to carry this intelligence from our previous lives. I was talking about sanskaras and vasanas. You can carry a lot. We carry all unwanted baggages. We start pouring them and storing them now. If your friend, you have an episode or an issue with your friend, you take it so long to forget that. Okay? So those negative emotions are sufficient for you to have serious health issues. But what you carry from your lives much beyond this one are those impressions which have been tested. Those life lessons are coming with you. You have to give an opportunity for your body to understand, then it will fix it. In this, there is no storage limit. If you want to store something in your computer, there is a limitation, right? Storage. Storage exceeded. So it is infinite storage. You can store as much good things as possible you want. You want to delete as many negative things as possible, you can delete, but impressions are going to remain. So if you are remaining positive, it can always take it in a progressive manner for you to have that healing experience, and they only act as a companion. Okay? What is that conscious intelligence? This is a companion. Whom should you listen to? You have a best friend, right? You always listen to your best friend. Who is your best friend? Your own true self. There is an inner voice which always comes out and says that please don't do that. You don't listen to it. So then the other fellow says that, come on, the internal assessments are starting only after a week. Now we'll go for a movie. So you are not prepared. You seriously want to sit and study. Who is telling I want to sit and study? That inner voice. That is conscious intelligence. A patient gets this message thousands of times. As a doctor, you get this message thousands of times saying that this patient probably has a different problem than what I am treating. We always say, right, my gut feeling, my sixth sense is telling. What are all those? My gut feeling, sixth sense, etc., etc. That's the conscious intelligence. True self, which is not bound by any of those delusions. Our journey is to really train, number one, ourselves, number two, our patients to understand this. If you can make this possibility a known possibility, then making that healing process start within you or within the patient becomes much, much, much easier. Even though you pour some medicine, many times medicines won't work. Dr. Raghavendra knows it well. He works in cancer. Not every cancer patient responds the same way, right? So some respond to medicine, some won't respond to medicine. Dr. Raghavendra has worked in looking at how you can make your body respond better to a given medication. We are also doing another study with MD Anderson Cancer Center. Dr. Raghavendra is also part of it, where this is a 3-nation study, United Nations, Tanzania, as well as in India, with the Healthcare Global, where we are trying to see how stem cell therapy can work in cancer patients, because we are all interested in fixing the problems as quickly as possible. Can you fix it so easily? When you are not able to fix, you look at alternatives. Though it is such an expensive task, people want, when I go through a stem cell therapy, how do I make it successful? Then probably some of the answers like you make your body ready to receive it. When you want to take a patient to chemo and radiation, make your body ready to receive it. Then the response can be much, much, much better. I'm not telling mind alone can handle. Mind can handle everything, even to make something of any other system work better for you. Right? So you are all blessed. You are in the fantastic discipline called naturopathy and yoga. You don't need to worry about medicine, but you use everything as medicine, including a thought process. Thank you very much.
I think if I say that Dr. Manjunath is a clever man, or you can say that he is a clever guy, is there a difference between clever man and clever guy? He was beautifully snatching away my belief medicine to his evidence-based medicine. How he has converted belief medicine into evidence-based medicine you have seen. See, when there is psychosomatic diseases, similarly the reverse process also can include mind, psychosomatic healing. So how far mind is involved in causing disease, Similarly, mind can be utilized or it can get involved in healing process also. That importance is there in mind medicine or evidence-based medicine. Now, we cannot simply say that mind medicine has originated only from a person's mind. It is also depended on experience. You can otherwise say experiential medicine or experiential research. See, we started our hydrotherapy from the experience of having a deer getting healed through water therapy. Of course, it was associated with fasting and rest also. So these experiences were repeated in human cases also. That is how we have come to the modality of hydrotherapy. Similarly, every medicine system, whether it is experience-based or belief-based, it needs only time to be converted or proven as an evidence-based medicine. So, our naturopathic modalities or naturopathic medicine can be easily explained in terms of the modern medicine also. During my time, that was I think almost 53 years back, we were just taught only a blind or blind word foreign matter. When we were not able to understand what is this foreign matter, where is this foreign matter situated, how we can quantify it, how we can detect it. But today we hear about what is that unwanted excess formed free radicals and oxidative stress. It can cause toxemia. This kind of terminologies are introduced today. But during my time, it was not even up to that level. So it is only the question of time to address our system as an evidence-based system. So that way, the researchers, morning I was telling, these three are my teachers or say gurus in the field of converting naturopathy into evidence-based medicine. So that way, they are bringing it up. Now I think it is the second medicine in the world, maybe after allopathy or maybe first medicine. Second medicine in the world having lot of evidences on different methodologies of naturopathy. You just take hydrotherapy as an example. There are n number of studies, clear evidence for its scientific background. Similarly, you take every modality, every treatment in hydrotherapy, mud therapy, yoga, all methodologies used in naturopathy is being proven or converted into evidence-based medicine through researchers by our own doctors. So we need not feel ashamed or we need not keep silence to anybody who claims that our system is not an evidence-based system of medicine. No, it has, I told, the second place in the world among medicines with enough of evidences or researches conducted in yoga and naturopathy system of medicine. I don't call it yoga and naturopathy, I just call it yoga and naturopathic system of medicine. So that is mind-body medicine. How it can act on the body, how it can convert or say reverse the disease process into health process or disease to health. This can be proved or it is being proved now, continuously being proved. That is the example what Dr. Manjunath was narrating here. Thank you for his intelligent presentation. Thank you. Now I invite Dr. Raghavendra Rao. Again, morning Dr. Naveen was telling, one of the best directors we ever had in any of the national institutes, Central Council for Research in Yoga and Naturopathy. And he has also worked with oncology department in the oncology management hospital. So I think one of the first researchers in cancer treatment from Yoga and Naturopathy system of medicine. I request him to make his presentation.
Now coming to our second speaker, it is a true privilege to introduce one of the country's leading minds in integrative medicine, yoga research and naturopathy, Dr. Raghavendra Rao Mohan. Dr. Raghavendra Rao sir completed his bachelor's degree in naturopathy and yogic science with distinction, securing second rank from Mangalore University in 1998. He began his illustrious career as a research fellow at SVASA Bangalore, later rising to the position of assistant professor. Over the past 2 decades, Dr. Raghavendra sir has led numerous pioneering research projects in areas like rheumatoid arthritis, pre-diabetics, diabetes, cardiovascular risk prevention and cancer, skillfully integrating yoga and naturopathy-based intervention with modern health care. Today, he serves as the Director of the Central Council for Research in Yoga and Naturopathy, Ministry of AYUSH, Government of India, where he continues to shape the future of yoga and naturopathy research in the country. He also holds the position of the editor for the Indian Journal for Yoga and Naturopathy. Please join me in warmly welcoming Dr. Raghavendra Rao sir, a visionary researcher, global collaborator and pioneering leader in integrative health. I request chairpersons to note the allotted time for the respected speaker is 40 minutes.
Put the presentation, please. Presentation. Presentation. Okay. Actually, this is a very bad time to talk about sleep. It's the art of rest, how to sleep and relaxation restore the body. So speakers like us will also make you go to sleep. Okay, the next slide, please. So we know this, sleep is nothing but an altered state of consciousness. When you get tired, your brain just switches off. It doesn't want to hear, it doesn't want to see, it doesn't want to pay any attention. So it just switches off. And that is altered state of consciousness, and there is no responses to any stimuli, and that's called sleep. So what happens when you have food, a good food in the conference, post food, all of us go to stage 1 type of sleep. Okay, light sleep. You say, you're sleeping? No, sir, I'm awake. You'll say. You'll be able to respond, but you'll be drowsy, you'll be in your own world. Okay, so we'll talk about how this is very useful. Next slide, please. So if you look at the physiology of sleep, it is controlled by the brainstem and the midbrain called the reticular activating center, RAC. This is the relay station, just like you have air defenses in the border, which will find out signals of other enemy aircraft coming nearby. It will relay the signals to the other missiles and the air defenses. Same like anti-aircraft defenses, this relay station gets the impulses from the eyes and from the auditory impulses from your ears and conveys it to the cortex. Okay? If you are in the awake, for example, if you are going in a flight, if you open the window, the shade of the flight, you can see, especially long haul flights like US or when you are going there, you can know that when the daytime and nighttime is coming, you will come to know. Okay? So basically, this reticular activating center is activated by stimuli called light as well. In a space flight, in the International Space Station, where Sunita Williams was there recently, each day, 24 hours, is divided into 16 day-night cycles. 16 times days and 16 times night. Means approximately every 20 minutes you will have a day, other 20 minutes you will have night. Okay? That's the kind of thing which happens there. That can cause changes in your circadian rhythms, because your biological clock is also dependent on this day-night cycle. So reticular activating system is one thing which receives the impulses, and when it becomes night, you feel like the urge to go to sleep. If the daytime was there like this itself, what would happen? Simple thing, you go to the US, especially US or North America, summers are very long. The night falls at 10 p.m. in the night. Okay, the sun sets at 10 p.m. in the night. So till 10 p.m. it's like almost it's a daytime for everybody. Okay, it's very difficult to adjust for us who are going from India to US. Same like for them as well. Okay, so they have what is called daylight saving time. Okay? So this is what is happening. So this has a lot of change. This can affect the biological rhythm inside your body. The biological rhythm is where your hormones are also dependent on the sleep-wake cycle. Melatonin is a hormone which is released in the middle of your sleep, midnight. Okay? Cortisol is a hormone which increases in the early morning. Growth hormone is one which is released in the middle of the night. So all these hormones also go haywire depending on your sleep-wake cycle, because these are very, very important for biological regulation. Now if I may give you a challenge and if I tell you don't sleep for 24 hours, what will happen? Next day when you hit the bed, you want to go and sleep. Very difficult to stay awake, right? Because you are habituated to this circadian rhythm. What happens to night shift workers? People who work in the night, they sleep in the morning. What happens there? Very difficult. They don't get good sleep. Why? You have sounds. You will be having all audio sounds, traffic noise. You have the light because of sunlight. So all these things will again doesn't give you a proper sleep because your reticular activating center is woken up in the night, in the daytime. Is active in the daytime. So people who go to night shift have a problem with sleep, and this can affect their health in the long run. We'll come to it later on. Okay. So again, very important here to understand is this hormone called serotonin. This is very, very important for inhibiting the reticular activating center so that you can go to sleep in the night. Okay. This hormone is reduced in depressive disorders, in patients with depression, patients with chronic stress. When certain levels come down, what will happen? They don't get sleep. And that is when all the problems starting. Okay, next slide please. So if you look at stages of sleep, the first stage of sleep is where you people are all right now in. Stage 1 sleep. After food, it's a drowsiness. You feel like losing attention. You'll have some amount of attention. Suddenly you go off to dreams. You feel like closing your eyes. You feel like yawning. Okay, all these things happen during the stage 1 sleep. Stage 2 is NREM sleep, where it's more stable sleep. It makes it's very difficult to wake up somebody in that stage 2 kind of sleep. Especially example is stage 2 is when you give an anesthesia, block away the impulses, stimuli. This is the kind of sleep which you go to, the stage 2 and stage 3. Okay, then you have the REM sleep. What is REM sleep? Rapid eye movement sleep. This is a deep sleep where you have vivid memories and dreams. So when you go to sleep, you know, no? First you are aware of the body, then you go to dream stage, little bit of dreams are there. Middle of the night you have intense dreams. That is the REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep. So this whole 4 cycles of sleep, first 3 cycles are non-rapid eye movement sleep, last one is the rapid eye movement sleep. This occurs, these 4 shifts occur within 90 to 120 minutes. And like this, you have 3 to 4 cycles in the whole night when you're sleeping for 8 hours. Okay. People have problem in the first stage. When they go to the first stage, they have a problem. People have problem when they go to stage 3. People have problem when they go to REM sleep as well. We'll see what those problems are. Next slide. So this is how it is. Stage 0, wakefulness. Stage 1, 2 is a light sleep. Stage 3 is a deep sleep. And the REM sleep is the stage R, it's called. And what happens here, you can see this is our time spent in is wakefulness is 16 to 18 hours per day. 4 to 7 hours per night is minimum is required for your sleep. Okay, with all these three stages together. Next slide, please. So this is what happens with the EEG waves when you are awake, when you are calm and wakefulness, when you have stage 1 theta waves, when you have sleep spindles and K complexes when you see for stage 2 sleep, delta waves when you have a stage 3 and 4, and REM sleep when you can look at electroocularogram, when you do a polysomnography, you know which kind of sleep it is based on this using polysomnography. Next slide, please. Factors affecting sleep, physical activity, psychological stress, environmental factors, lifestyle is very important, smoking, especially alcohol. If you take caffeine, stimulants, etc. in the night, you will not go to sleep. Very difficult to get to sleep. Okay? And illnesses are there. Medications, some of the medications keep you awake. They don't allow you to sleep. And next slide, please. Okay, what is sleep hygiene is also very, very important for you to have good sleep in the night, because if you have a good sleep in the night, you can function optimally in the daytime next day. So basically, you also have to do what is called sleep assessment. We don't ask our patients how your sleeping is, unless they complain that they have a problem with sleep. They have insomnia. Unless patients complain, we never ask them about the quality of sleep. This is very, very important for naturopathy, let me tell you. Okay? Because sleep is one important stress buffer. That's when all the repair process of your body takes place. So this is very important that you ask them, how is your sleep? How fast you do sleep? Is it easy to go to sleep? Do you wake up in the middle? Okay. So today what is happening is people have this screen, mobiles with them. Before sleeping, they have a habit of going through all the Instagram reels and all. They're exposed to the screen light, visual display terminal, and that causes insomnia. That delays their onset of sleep. Okay? Normally, onset of sleep is 5 to 10 minutes. If it is delayed more than 15 minutes, it is a problem. Okay? The stage 1 sleep becomes delayed. When it becomes delayed, then you will not have proper sleep. Next day morning, you feel sleepy. You feel tired. You will feel fatigued. Okay? So this is all very important. You need to ask, have you been told to stop breathing while you are asleep? You will ask your partner whether does he snore more in the night? Does he get up because he feels breathless in the night? So all these are important aspects to ask today, because many people don't know about sleep apnea. It's a very big problem today. And most of them, when you have sleep apnea, it can lead to diabetes, it can lead to obesity, it can lead to hypertension and all. So understanding sleep apnea is also very, very important. Next slide, please. So how do you measure sleep apnea? Is by using polysomnography. Okay. So we look at brain waves, we look at electrooculogram, eye movements, we look at muscle tone, limb movements, using actigraphy. You look at body position, you look at nasal flow, oral flow, etc. and try to find out what is the problem causing them to have sleep apnea. Next slide please. This is a typical polysomnography. Next slide. Okay, then also you have what is called multiple sleep latency test. Somebody comes to your clinic, you can ask them to go to sleep for 20 minutes, find out how much time it took to go to sleep by using polysomnography. If it is more than 10 minutes, then he has a problem. If he's not getting a stage 1 sleep, he has insomnia. Okay, so this can be diagnosed using multiple sleep latency test, or you can also use actigraphy watches. Now you have Samsung watches and all which has come. They all have Apple watches, they all have actigraphy in them. So within 1 week it will tell you what is your quality of sleep. It's a very, very important measure, and it's a very, very standardized measure. Okay, so actigraphy watches can also be used. Next slide please. So what are the conditions of sleep disorders? You have sleep apnea, you have snoring, you have narcolepsy, you have sleep paralysis, you have sleep talking, you have restless leg syndrome, insomnia, exploding head syndrome. You know what is exploding head syndrome? Anybody heard about it? If you sleep for a longer time, somebody sleeps maximum 7 hours per day. If somebody sleeps 9 hours, they'll have a severe headache. So sleeping more also is a problem for people. Okay, they got a good sleep, but I'm getting up with a headache. This is called exploding head syndrome. Okay, next slide please. Okay, so all this in ICD classification of diseases, the sleep disorders are called dysomnias. There are intrinsic causes, extrinsic causes. We'll go to that. Next slide. The intrinsic one is called the primary insomnia, difficulty to go to sleep. You have narcolepsy, you have hypersomnia, you have sleep apnea syndrome, periodic limb movement disorder, and restless leg syndrome. Let's see what these are. Next slide. So insomnia is where difficulty to get into sleep. You always toss around in the bed, very difficult to go to sleep. Okay? So that is called insomnia, and it's caused due to various factors, stress factors and some psychological factors, as well as some medical conditions. Next slide please. Narcolepsy is where you have uncontrollable desire to sleep. You are standing here, you want to sleep. If you are driving, you want to sleep. Okay, you can't concentrate. Like for example, drivers. Somebody who has narcolepsy should not be allowed to drive. They can go to sleep immediately and have accidents. Okay, so this is a very big problem, because this can lead to hallucinations, it can lead to sleep paralysis also, and it disturbs the nighttime sleep. So this is usually occurring in daytime. So daytime they can't function at all. They say, I have excessive sleepiness, I can't concentrate, I can't sit. If I sit for some time, I sleep. I'll go to sleep, I read a newspaper, I'll sleep. Okay, so this is called narcolepsy. Next slide please. Okay, so this is done by polysomnography and multiple sleep latency test. Medicines are usually given. Next slide. Hypersomnia is again condition of excessive sleep, and in some cases it's also called sleep drunkenness syndrome, and there's another syndrome called Kleene-Levin syndrome. Anybody knows what is Kleene-Levin syndrome? It is called sleeping beauty syndrome. They sleep for 18 to 20 hours a day at a stretch. Now if slept at 12 o'clock, till next night, 10 o'clock, they won't wake up. Okay, the whole throughout 18 to 20 hours at a stretch they'll sleep. Okay, they only want to eat, they get up only to eat food. Okay, they'll have increased excitability, and compulsive eating is there. They are very, very irritable people. Okay, next slide please. You can say they are Kumbhakaranas, just like that. And sleep apnea, all of you, I just told you, where you have breathlessness, you will not be able to breathe, and because of which you get up in the middle of the night. You have obstructive sleep apnea and you also have central sleep apnea. So there are ways of diagnosing this using polysomnography and a pulse oximetry. Next slide please. Okay. Then you also have periodic limb movement disorder. They can't sit, when you sleep, the legs become very restless. Simple example, you make somebody do yoga nidra, look at them how they do the yoga nidra. If they are keeping on moving their legs here and there, that means they have the problem. Okay? The same thing happens when they go to sleep. They have this myoclonus, they have repeated jerky movements, and they also have sometimes tend to have what is called restless leg syndrome. Next slide please. Okay. So it's also called restless leg syndrome. They can't keep the leg in one position. They keep on changing it while sleeping. They keep on tossing on the bed. As a result of which, they don't get good sleep. Next slide. And it's mostly caused due to anxiety. Okay. In secondary insomnia is where, because of other causes, you get insomnia. I won't go into these details. Next slide, please. Okay, next slide. Okay. These are again other common causes of insomnia: jet lag disorder, shift work disorder. You are working day shift about 1 week, and suddenly you are asked to do a night shift. The next day, after your night shift, your whole day is gone. Okay, because you will not be able to adjust to it. Okay, so all these things can also have a problem with your sleep-wake cycle. Next slide, please. Somnambulism, sleepwalking, very common. It occurs in a non-NREM stage of sleep. Okay, the other causes also. Next slide, please. Usually occurs in children. There is what is called sleep terror, having bad dreams, somebody coming and chasing you, somebody coming to kill you, but having demons, ghosts, whatever it is, horror movies. Sleep terror is usually in children. They frighten up and get up from sleep. Okay, and usually associated with REM sleep. Okay, next slide. You also have sleep bruxism, where they grind the teeth and they can injure the tongue, they can bite the lip, they can have bleeding also. Okay, it's called sleep bruxism. It's also a problem. You also have sleep enuresis, it's called bedwetting, which is also a problem. Next slide. Next slide, please. I won't go into this. Now, how is sleep related to your body? Let me tell you, if you have a very sound sleep, all the healing process, the repair process occur during sleep. Why? Because of a hormone called growth hormone. As you grow older, the level of this growth hormone keeps on coming down. The peak of the growth hormone keeps on shortening up. Okay? Amount of growth hormone comes down as you keep growing old. That's the reason why in elderly population, you can see that they're not able to have sleep. They say, I can only sleep for 4 hours. I can only sleep for 6 hours. I can't sleep more than that. They sleep at 10 o'clock. They wake up at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning. Okay? Because they can't get a good continuous sleep. Because of the lack of growth hormone. Next slide, please. And this can cause inflammation. Now, when you have a sleep deprivation, when you have doing night shift and all, there's a lot of studies done on this. They have seen that it increases inflammatory cytokines like IL-1, IL-6 and TNF-alpha. It increases down-regulates TH1, increases TH2 response. It decreases NK cell activity, decreases antibody production of your immune cells, decreases antigen presentation of the T cells. Okay, so it is the people who lose sleep, especially during exam times, easily get cold, get viral infections because of lowered immunity. Lowered immunity, one is stress and stress of your exams. Second thing is poor nutrition. Third one is sleep deprivation. So all these three things together will lower the immunity and cause infections. So this can also cause cancer, infections, not just cause cancer, it will increase the progression of cancer. I'll show you some of the studies which have shown how much does sleep disorder cause a problem in cancer patients. Then it increases infection, increases neurodegeneration, such as dementia and Alzheimer's disease. It can increase cardiovascular disease as well. Next slide. So I'm not going to the mechanism. Basically, it activates a nuclear transcription factor called NF-kappa B, which is a trigger for inflammation, and this causes all the diseases, NCDs. Next slide, please. So this is what happens here. First half of the sleep, growth hormone is very high. You go to bed at 10 a.m., 10 o'clock in the night. By 12 o'clock, your melatonin levels go up, your growth hormone levels go up. Second half of the sleep, your cortisol level goes up. So early morning, 4 o'clock, we ask you to wake up in Brahmi Muhurta. We say you read well, you want to do all your studies, academic activities, do at 4 o'clock. Why? That is when your cortisol hormone is very high. When cortisol is very high, your attention faculties are very high. You'll be able to focus very well. It improves in long-term memory. Okay? When the cortisol levels are very high in the early morning. So that's Brahmi Muhurta is when the cortisol is very high. Okay? So this growth hormone you can see here, it peaks up whenever you have deep sleep. So having a good sleep is very important for growth hormone to go up. Next slide please. So you heard about this person, gentleman. Who is he? Anybody knows? Anybody can answer who this person is? The clue is there in the book. Herbert Benson. So Herbert Benson is from Harvard Medical University. 1978, he coined the relaxation response. So yoga already talked about relaxation response, but he proved in physiological terms about the parasympathetic activation and relaxation response. And that's what yoga really does about. We try to activate the parasympathetic nervous system to bring about a relaxation response. Stress response is what? Increased sympathetic activity, arousal state. Whereas relaxation response is opposite of the arousal state. And Herbert Benson is the one who talked about relaxation response. Next slide please. Okay. Now I want to talk about stress and cancer connection, how it is related to sleep, how it is related to survival and in cancer patients. Next slide. Okay. So whenever you have a chronic stress, increased activation of HPA axis, SAM axis is there, stress hormones, glucocorticoids, ACTH, cortisol is all produced. They activate on the tumor microenvironment, cause the cancer cells to grow. At the same time, they also produce inflammatory cytokines. This can lead to sleep disturbances, impaired stress response, and this is cyclic. So in cancer patients, as the tumor is growing, they also have stress, they have distress, they also have loss of sleep. When they have loss of sleep, when they have a lot of chronic stress because of they are diagnosed with cancer, they respond very poorly to treatment. Next slide please. This is a study which is done. Okay, before that go to the study. You can also see what happens. Next slide please. Yeah. You can see what happens in cancer patients. Normally cortisol hormone is peaking in the morning early after waking up and comes down by night time. Okay, the cortisol hormone in the bottom comes down by night time. Whereas in cancer patients, the cortisol hormone remains high throughout, even in the night. Very difficult for them to go to sleep. They can't go to sleep. They have what is called upward slope or a flat cortisol rhythm, which doesn't allow them to go to sleep. And this causes sleep problems in cancer patients and dampens the immune response. Next slide, please. So this is a very good study done by Sandra E. Sept and colleagues, published in JNCI, Journal of National Cancer Institute in 2001. So she was a psychologist. So what she did was, she took metastatic breast cancer patients, advanced breast cancer patients who had a breast cancer which had spread to lungs, liver, colon or bones, not brain. So she took those people. One group of them she assessed for depression, other group she saw that they were not depressed. When she assessed them for depression, the depressive group, she looked at cortisol levels, 6 a.m., 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. cortisol levels she measured, and she looked at the slope. Do they have flat slope or do they have a downward slope, normal downward slope? Okay, she categorized those downward slope separately, those with flat and higher slope separately. So what she saw was, you can see important here, survival time in years. Okay, this is about what she saw here was, at 4th year, 70% of them was surviving who had a normal cortisol slope, those who did not have high cortisol levels. 70% of them was surviving. In the same 4th year, people who had flat cortisol slope or upward cortisol slope, where cortisol levels were very high, only 30% was surviving. 40% difference in survival. Even chemotherapy can't give this kind of a difference. A new chemotherapy drug will give you 10% difference in survival. Okay, 40% difference in survival just by sleep alone. If you slept well, you had lower cortisol levels, you are able to survive for longer time. That's what it showed. Next slide, please. This is a meta-analysis done following that, where they showed very clearly that people who have depressive symptoms of clinical depression, they have higher mortality compared to those who don't have. And difference in their mortality scores was 25% again. Okay? Next slide, please. Next slide. This is all our studies which we have done. Looked at yoga program on quality of life, toxicity in breast cancer patients receiving conventional treatment. We could show that by adding yoga as an intervention, we could normalize the sleep, improve the quality of life, reduce distress in these patients. Next slide, please. Okay, this is a study which is published in Journal of Clinical Oncology, impact factor of 25. Okay, this is abstract published in American Society for Clinical Oncology. We looked at role of yoga program in breast cancer patients undergoing conventional treatment, how it is useful as an antidepressant effect. Next slide, please. We looked at fatigue scale inventory, saw that we told very clearly that when you have sleep deprivation, you have fatigue. You also have fatigue in cancer patients because of inflammation and also because of low blood counts. So we saw that yoga can reduce fatigue in cancer patients, fatigue interference in cancer patients by using yoga for during the course of the treatment. Next slide, please. This published in Integrative Cancer Therapies. Then we also looked at quality of life, how it can improve quality of life, improve cognitive function. Next slide, please. How it can improve social functioning and global quality of life. Next slide, please. Okay. We looked at neuroendocrine immune response in metastatic cancer patients. Again, we showed that cortisol rhythms came down in yoga compared to controls. Next slide, please. So this is what we did. It was published in Integrated Cancer Therapies. Dr. Vadiraj also was a part of this, and it was as part of his thesis. And we looked at 6 a.m. cortisol levels, cool 6 a.m. cortisol levels. It was coming down in yoga group compared to controls. Means that the cortisol slope was getting normalized in yoga compared to controls. So what we did in this study was 6 a.m., 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. cortisol, saliva cortisol, 3 consecutive days. So almost 9 vials of cortisol before radiotherapy, 9 vials of cortisol after radiotherapy for each patient. Okay? And we saw a use of this. We looked at pooled mean cortisol levels and it came down in yoga compared to controls. Next slide. Yeah. And this is also published in the Journal of Clinical Oncology, where we looked at effects of mood states and diurnal salivary cortisol rhythms in breast cancer patients awaiting radiotherapy, a cross-sectional study. Next slide, please. Then we looked at role of yoga in monitoring fatigue and sleep disturbances in salivary cortisol and immune measures in breast cancer survivors. This is again another study. It's published in Journal of Clinical Oncology. Next slide, please. Okay. This same thing. Next slide, please. Next slide. So I think this has been repeated. Sorry. So what is important here is ahara, vihara, achara, vichara. These 4 simple things are very, very important for anybody's lifestyle correction. Ahara is diet. Vihara is rest and relaxation, good sleep. If you are not having good sleep, you have a problem. First, correct somebody's sleep. It's very, very important. Then, achara is your lifestyle. Vichara is stress and perception towards life. So these 4 things are very, very important when you talk in naturopathy, when you try to heal somebody. Next slide, please. So, what is yoga? Manaha prashamana upaya yoga. So too much of thoughts, too much of conflicts inside your mind, too much of stress inside your mind, slow it down. That is yoga. Try to be calm. If you are able to reduce your stress levels, they will be able to sleep. I will give an example of one of my patients. The first patient, when I visited a cancer hospital, this patient was a challenge for me. When I said we want to do yoga and we want to do research on yoga for cancer patients, in 1998, when I went to HCG, Bangalore Institute of Oncology, the surgeon said, our patients can't do yoga, they are really sick, they are not in a position to do yoga. So their thing was, yoga means flexibility of the body. It is some contortion, some asana. Okay? So they gave me a patient. One patient was given to me. This lady, last 4 months, they are trying to get her to do surgery. She has gone to a psychologist, a psycho-oncologist, a psychiatrist, everybody. She is not sleeping at all in the house. All night she is reading a novel, she is watching TV. All night, whole night. She is too anxious. She knows there is a cancer in the breast. A doctor said they have to remove the breast. She is not ready for it. She is a very young female, 30 years old, recently married, 5 years after marriage. Okay, she had not conceived. Okay, she didn't have any children. This lady was refusing to undergo mastectomy by the doctor. So doctor said, if you can convince this patient, if you can make her sleep, if you can reduce her anxiety, then I'll agree that you can do something with yoga. Then you can come to my hospital. So I went to the patient's house, 2 days, I went, just introduced myself, this. I just made her do pranayama, asked her to just do breathing to relax. She said, I did not talk to her about surgery. I went and talked to her about how to get sleep, because she was not sleeping at all. I changed her sleep hygiene ways, gave her some consultation on diet, lifestyle, taught her pranayama 3-4 days. Continuously I went to her house, started doing pranayama. By 1 week, she calls me Sunday morning, doctor, today first time in the last 6 months I have had sleep. First time in the last 6 months I had sleep. Okay, anxiety came down, she had sleep. And after this, next 1 week, started yoga, started pranayama, everything, calmed down her mind. Then started explaining to her why surgery is important. Because she had stage 1B cancer, ductal carcinoma in situ, okay, which could easily be curable. If you do this, it will be done. So after 1 week, she understood that she has to get it done. She called doctor herself. Doctor, I am coming tomorrow morning. You do my surgery tomorrow morning immediately. Okay. This lady, 6 months, 3 times she is admitted to the hospital. 3 times, middle of the night, she has escaped from the hospital in auto. 3 times. So this lady was not ready to take surgery at all. So we calmed down her mind, relaxed, she got good sleep. Then she was able to think properly. Then she underwent surgery and touch wood, she is still alive even today. Okay? So sleep is very, very important. If you can correct sleep in cancer patients, fatigue will go off, anxiety will go off, depression will go off, they'll have a better quality of life. So first thing is, see that you work on sleep, work on rest and relaxation. If your body wants to do elimination to take care of toxins, it can only, and repair has to happen after that, it can only happen if you have a very good sleep. So thank you so much for your hearing.
Closing remarks? Thank you. I see some apprehensive faces. I'm not going to talk. I'm here to do the closing remarks of the session. And I do know that there are 2 more speakers waiting to speak. And as chairpersons of this inaugural session, Dr. Babu Joseph sir and I are very privileged to have these 2 stalwarts of our community present and handle their subjects as we all expect them to. Dr. Manjunath took a very smart turn from mystery to hardcore yoga, philosophy, and then to neuroscience in the best possible way to connect mind, neuroscience, and finally end with cosmic conscious intelligence. Thank you for that very insightful talk. If I have to add, I have to add, right? So if I have to add a piece of information, this is basically, as researchers, that what we do, especially I'm talking to students here, while we emphasize when you are studying in your classrooms that we need evidence-based teaching, we need evidence-based medicine, and we know all the troubles that we go through in finding correct models of research for yoga and naturopathy. But one has to understand, to that extent, I'm very glad that although Raghavendra Rao is immunologist, his specialization is immunology, and of course, epigenetics, genetics, molecular biology, all that spectrum. But these 2 talks in a way are very connected, which actually answers the paradigm difficulty that we are all confronted with. We, I mean, lifestyle interventionists, yoga and naturopathy physicians across the world, mind modifying techniques, mind-body medicine guys. The reason being, the template of medicine is very, very skeptic about this whole format under which, or the premise under which we want to operate. Like Guruji emphasized it and Manju's first slide emphasized, from matter-based approach to consciousness-based approach. So we want to talk about human behavior, human lifestyle, food, wake, sleep cycle, fundamentals of human behavior and life, and want to use it as therapy. Firstly, connect it to our physiology and health, and then use the same format, templates, concepts, and thereby evolving therapies as treatment. Now that is not in the paradigm of matter-based approach. That is the challenge. And this challenge is very beautifully illustrated. Now that I'm not a speaker, I can give you this very non-academic, filmy illustration of how we got in here. I don't know how many of you have ever seen the youngsters. At least in my age group, we all have seen a very black and white Bollywood movie scenes where when you have a rich couple or rich family falling sick, They call a doctor, you know, you make a midnight call, somebody comes in a very fancy car, full suited, somebody has to carry their suitcase. They come and very mystically they look at your pulse, because you know those people those days they didn't understand. They use stethoscope and then auscultate people, and then they obviously give an injection and give some tablets. They don't prescribe like now, and then everything is over, and suddenly the anxiety crisis is all over. There's a sense of calm, and then the doctor is walking out, somebody is carrying his suitcase. The lady of the house at the door asks him, "Doctor, thank you very much. Should he be minding what he should eat, what he should do, how much should he rest?" And the doctor's response is where has brought the whole society. And the doctor responds to that lady, "Oh, no, nothing. He can do anything and everything. He can eat and do whatever he wants to do as long as he takes those medicines that I've given. And I'll come back after 2 days or 3 days or a week and give those injections. He will be perfectly all right." This changed the medicine. Today, therefore, Raghavendra has to show a slide that depression changes the mortality or morbidity of cancer patients. That's common sense. That's in our grandma's books. But we need to generate evidence for it. We need to show that sense of consciousness, sense of being alive is important for healing. We need to generate data. We are forced into this situation because we chased an ampule of injection and a tablet as our healing tools and medication as the prime treatment. It's that shift that's causing all this problem, which has to change. So today our two speakers have actually highlighted for all of us to embrace how human behavior can actually change brain. So we as yoga and naturopathy physicians are the people who address human behavior. And therefore, you know, when I first called my clinic as lifestyle clinic, people said, "What is lifestyle?" Some of my friends in Bangalore thought perfume, belt, shoes, socks is lifestyle. And that's what is the magazine, lifestyle magazines deal with, isn't it? A new cuffling, a new bag, a new lady, stilettos. Those are lifestyle. So people don't understand waking up, wake, sleep cycle, and all of that, and everything that we do in a day is lifestyle. People don't understand that. People don't relate to that. And that's what beautifully Dr. Raghavendra addressed. And he opened up. And actually, when he was talking about those topics. In fact, both of them, psycho-neuroimmunology, psycho-neuro-immuno-endocrinology. So it's basically how mind is able to change course of all these biological systems to restore health or to maintain health. And obviously at the end, human behavior is the boss, and that is really, so there is now within psychology behavioral medicine, which is why we call it psychosomatic medicine. So it is that paradigm shift. So we have to hold on to the psyche as our core tool to see what happens to soma and what happens to our nervous system, what happens to our immune system and endocrine system and so on and so forth. So they really opened up a beautiful array of new disciplines in medicine, which are very new. And of course, Dr. Raghavendra has been talking about this for 15, 20 years, but it's still new in clinical practice. It's very well settled topic in research, but still new in clinical practice. Thank you both for enlightening us. Thank you all.
I just want to add on a few words to the students of naturopathy especially. Dr. Raghavendra was speaking on sleep, rest and relaxation. But we have one more tool to provide rest and relaxation to the body and mind. What is it? Fasting. Fasting is not just abstinence from food. Fasting can be defined as total rest, physical, physiological, sensory and mental rest, which includes voluntary total abstinence from any kind of food, solid or liquid that demands digestion, except water for a definite purpose and period. So when you learn this definition of fasting, you will understand that for reversal of disease, how rest and relaxation, physical rest, physiological rest, mental rest and sensory rest. How it helps for reversal of disease. The body and mind will be totally free to concentrate only on healing process. That is how healing takes place in fasting. Try to learn more details about fasting and what is true fasting. I am not speaking about liquid diet fasting or raw diet fasting or mono diet fasting or fruit fasting. I am speaking only about a true fasting which includes only water intake, nothing else, which gives complete rest. All four faculties of the body and mind are at rest where healing takes place beautifully. Thank you.
I thank the speakers and the chairperson for the insightful and thought-provoking presentation and discussion. As a small token of our gratitude, I request Dr. Bapu Joseph sir to present a memento to Dr. N.K. Manjunath sir. I request Dr. Naveen KV sir to present a memento for Dr. Raghavendra Rao sir. Now I request Dr. N.K. Manjunath sir to give the memento to Dr. Naveen KV sir. Now I request Dr. Raghavendra Rao sir to present memento to Dr. Bapu Joseph sir.
Just to make a small announcement, since we have this international conference on yoga and naturopathy for next 4 days, all of you are going to be here. So CCR1 is planning to popularize yoga and naturopathy also in the social media. So unless it comes in social media today, these days, our system will not gain traction, will not gain any popularity. So we are going to have a reel competition on ICYN theme. So you can, students, alumni who are interested, can make an Instagram reel and post it on CCR1 Instagram handle, Ministry of AYUSH handle, as well as both on the CCR1 Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Okay? The best reel would get 15,000 rupees prize. Okay, that is one thing. And this time, Ministry of AYUSH has a very large number of events on International Day of Yoga, being the 10th anniversary of IDY. So we have a huge flagship program. So this time, mostly the main event may be in Visakhapatnam. You'll get the official confirmation soon. Okay? And this time we want to have Yoga Mahakumbh. So all the past years IDY region, places where the PM had visited, in all the places there is going to be a mega event on the same day on June 21st. Then we have a lot of other programs, Yoga Samyoga program, where we're going to have workshops in using yoga and naturopathy, in Ayurveda, in Unani, in homeopathy, so on and so forth. We have the Yoga Samavesha program where you're going to use yoga for various diseases like obesity, diabetes, hypertension, bronchial asthma, adolescent, pregnant women, etc. So we want people to start doing this kind of program in all your colleges, and we'll be sending out this information soon to everybody through a flyer, and we would request people to participate in large numbers. We'll also have some granting for these institutions. We'll intimate you on this very soon. So thank you all so much.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, sir. Kindly note everyone, there will be an alumni meet in New Yoga Hall at the college around 5:15 p.m. Coming to our second session, we are privileged to welcome Dr. H.S. Vadiraja sir as a chairperson for next event. Dr. Vadiraja sir is a distinguished yoga and naturopathy practitioner based in Bangalore, holding a Bachelor of Naturopathy and Yogic Sciences degree. He practices at the Sankalpa Yoga and Natural Health Center in Bangalore, where he integrates traditional practices to promote holistic health. Beyond his clinical practice, Dr. Vadiraja sir has made significant contributions to research in the field of yoga therapy. He served as a research officer for 4 years on a project titled Influence of Yoga Therapy in Immune Modulation and Outcome in Rheumatoid Arthritis in the Department of Clinical Immunology at MS Ramaya Medical Teaching Hospital, Bangalore. This project was funded by the Central Council for Research in Yoga and Naturopathy, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. Currently, Dr. Vadiraja is working as a research officer on another CCRYN funded project titled Evaluation of Yoga Therapy in Modulating DNA Repair in Breast Cancer Patients Undergoing Radiations. Sir is our Assistant Director of CCRYN as well. His research findings have been presented at various conferences, contributing valuable insights into the integration of yoga therapy in modern medical treatments. Notably, he co-authored studies on the role of Proteus mirabilis in rheumatoid arthritis and the profile of anti-nuclear antibodies in disease association presented at the Indian Rheumatology Association conferences. Dr. Vadiraja sir's dedication to advancing the field of yoga and naturopathy, combined with his commitment to research and education, makes him an exemplary leader and a source of inspiration for practitioners and researchers alike. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Dr. H.S. Vadiraja sir.
It is with great pleasure that I introduce Dr. Harish Babu C, a respected leader, administrator and advocate in the field of traditional Indian healthcare system. Dr. Harish Babu currently serves as the Registrar of the Karnataka Ayurveda and Unani Practitioners Board, Bangalore, a statutory body under the Government of Karnataka responsible for overseeing the registration, regulation and discipline of Ayurvedic and Unani practitioners across the state. A stalwart supporter of the AYUSH system, Dr. Harish Babu has made significant contribution to integrating traditional medicine into public health initiatives. He has actively represented the KAPU board at numerous state and national forums, NSS academic programs and public awareness platforms, consistently advocating for safe, ethical and evidence-based practices in Ayurveda and Unani medicine. Beyond his regulatory role, Dr. Harish Babu is a dynamic spokesperson for the AYUSH community in Karnataka, championing the integration of ancient wisdom with contemporary healthcare delivery models. His participation in policy dialogues, capacity building workshops, and student training programs reflects his vision of comprehensive and integrative medical framework. Widely recognized for his leadership in governance and public health promotion, Dr. Harish Babu is frequently invited as a guest of honor and keynote speaker at academic conferences, health expos, and institutional events across the country. We are privileged to have him here in this session today, and I warmly welcome Dr. Harish Babu C to preside over proceedings. Now I request today's second session speakers, Dr. Kunal K. and Vanita Shetty, to come upon the stage. It is both pleasure and privilege to introduce an accomplished academician, physician and dedicated yoga practitioner, Professor Dr. Kunal sir, an inspiring educator, integrative health advocate and a shining example of holistic healthcare leadership. Our distinguished professor of medical physiology, Dr. Kunal, brings with him a rich, diverse experience of over 30 years in the practice of yoga and 15 years in teaching both physiology and yoga at reputed medical institutions. His unique ability to seamlessly blend modern medical science with the timeless wisdom of ancient yogic practices has greatly enriched medical education, research, and wellness initiatives in India. Dr. Kunal earned his MBBS and MD in Physiology from the prestigious Manipal Academy of Higher Education, Karnataka. Pursuing his passion for yoga further, he completed a postgraduate diploma in yogic science from Mangalore University. Further, he has completed his training and certification from various universities. Currently, he serves as professor and in-charge instructor of the Yoga Laboratory and the Skill Lab at his institution. His professional portfolio encompasses a wide spectrum of responsibility, from delivering lectures, facilitating case-based, team-based learning, moderating seminars, and conducting practical training sessions to guide undergraduate and postgraduate students in research and clinical practices. Please join me in extending a warm and heartfelt welcome to Professor Dr. Kunal Sir. I request chairpersons to note the allotted time for the respected speaker is 20 minutes.
Respected audience, over the dais, off the dais, namaskar to everyone. As you see, healing begins from Namaste. Whenever we do Namaste, if we understand the meaning of Namaste, we start getting healed. And that is we bow to the divine, the divinity within everyone, what we come across. Yeah. Go fast, I have lots of slides. Yeah. You have been hearing lots of talks, so see some light photos. It's me doing some yogic practice. All of you know what it is. Next, please. That is me, just to recognize myself, I put it there. Okay. And we conduct lots of activities in Mangalore, like Shankh Prakshalana activities. We were doing every year. We conduct it in a group of sometimes 100. And during COVID times, I was teaching yoga online. That is about this. Yeah. Keep on moving. Yeah. This, the whole family are interested in yoga, and that's my daughter and me. We were just having yoga fun time. You know? So, she could not get up, so I had to bring her up. Yeah. This is my whole family. Yeah. Move forward, please. My wife, Parvati. So I begin with this question. Is yoga another form of activities, exercise? What do you say? Audience, please participate. Is yoga another form of exercise? No. Right. So what do you think? Next slide, please. Correct? No. How it is different? It is similar or totally different, totally contrast. Next, please. It is opposite to exercise in nearly every ways. Keep on, yeah. It's fast. Yeah. It's better than exercise in nearly every ways. Opposite but better. How, what happens? Next slide. You look at this, very, very basic. Yoga exercise aims at multiple contraction up to their maximum efficiency, leads to immediate fatigue, right? But in the long term, you have increase in strength and endurance. Whereas yoga, now this is where I want to make difference, and all those who are practicing and prescribing yoga, that we have a hangover of exercise and we tend to perform yoga also like exercise. Yoga aims at prolonged stretch, sthir sukham asanam. So you should be stable. So whenever you are teaching somebody yoga, don't let them change the posture. At least let them hold for 5 deep breathing. 5 deep breath means 1 minute. Okay, 1 deep breathing takes minimum 10 seconds, 10 to 12 seconds. Around 2 to 3 seconds or 4 seconds breathing in, and next 8 to 10 seconds breathing out. So everybody should hold the posture for minimum 1 minute. They can hold it longer. Then only you will have benefit of yoga. Otherwise, exercise is beneficial and everybody gets benefit of exercise, but they think that they are getting benefit of yoga. And yoga gets a bad name because of that. Because yoga is far, far more beneficial than exercise. Next slide, please. This is where yoga works. That is called inverse stretch reflex. Whenever you stretch a muscle to its maximum ability, maximum length, and hold it there, as a result, there will be immediate relaxation. That is called, that is performed by Golgi tendon organ. It is a protective phenomena. Whenever we are stretching a muscle, brain needs to protect it from getting injured, so brain will relax it. It's also called as lengthening reaction. So this is the principle of asana whenever you practice asana. So try to perform the asana to its maximum stretchability and hold the position for 1 minute. Then you will get immediate relaxation as soon as you finish practicing that posture. Next slide, please. Okay, so all of you have been sitting for a long time, so let's feel it to believe it. Next slide. Keep on doing next. Yeah, come on. Sitting over the chair, all of you can stretch yourself. Okay? And when you stretch, feel the wave of relaxation. Right? You can stretch any ways. Okay? This is the easiest way. And this way, if you keep stretching while working, you will never have the back pain. You can also stretch behind. Right? So, you can do Tadasana if you can. You can do Tiryak Tadasana. These four stretch, if any working person keeps on doing, they will never develop back pain or any postural related pain. Next slide, please. Keep on. So exercise is good, must be done, but keep on. Yoga is opposite and better than exercise. Actually, I have 1 hour presentation, just differences between yoga and exercise. I have to cut short because I have only 20 minutes here. So next, keep on going next. Okay. So I explained many people actually perform yoga in the name of, perform exercise in the name of yoga. Next slide. So how to practice asana as yoga, not as exercise? One thing is you have to hold the position. So in a nutshell, we have been taught 4 aspects of asanas. Can somebody tell me? What are the 4 aspects of asana practice? Someone from the audience. You are having nice, good time, laughing time, that's good. Can you reply please? What are the 4 aspects of asana? Anybody who practices asana should remember those 4 components. Anyone? Okay, I see so many alumni are there, so many postgraduates are there. Okay, it may be difficult to recall. Next slide, please. All of you know Sthir Sukham Asanam, so we have to hold it. Next, go on. Wait here. So, see, we tend to neglect the next 2 slokas. Prayatna Shaitil Ananta Samapatti Bhyam. Like there is effort when we hold the posture. How to become effortless in the posture? Only if you focus on infinite. Okay? So that is a component of asana. Whenever you perform asana, you have to be connected to the infinite, that ultimate source of energy, that Ishvara, that Almighty. Okay? And then what will happen? The result of asana is tato dvanda anabhighata. You will be lost, you will be detached from the duality. Nothing will disturb you. So remember these 2 slokas also whenever you perform asanas. Yeah. Next. So 4 components of asana is coming now. Any guesses? Okay, next. Vinyasa, swasa, sthiti, drishti. Remember? Very, very important. How to perform? There is a sequence of contraction. And while contraction, whether you should breathe in or breathe out, remember to practice that. And every asana has its focus, gaze point. You should find out which asana has what gaze point, and you should hold your drishti there. And then hold the position, sthiti, for some times. Yeah, next slide please. And benefit of asana, all of you know, this is where the yoga works, right? Kuryatasanam, stharyam, arogyam, angalaghavam. These three benefits have been mentioned in Hatha Yoga Pradipika. Next slide. Next slide. So asana is yoga? Not exactly. Asana is one of the preparatory and small. Next slide. Yeah. Keep on going next, because we will skip all this. Keep on going next. Okay, now let's focus on pranayama. After asana, we practice pranayama. Now I have changed the sequence during my yoga therapy session. Pranayama should not be practiced at the end of asanas. Okay? You have to practice pranayama right from the beginning throughout the session. What is pranayama? Swasa prashwasa yoga gati vichheda iti pranayama. Okay? Inhalation, exhalation, that combination should be broken. You should stop that breath awareness. You should breathe in with your will, hold your breath, breathe out with your will. That is pranayama. Annamaya kosha will be purified, will be cleaned only if pranamaya kosha is working fine. So we can't first treat annamaya kosha, then go to pranamaya kosha. Because who moves the body is prana. Okay? And what moves the prana? Manomaya kosha. Okay, your mind moves the prana. So everybody is talking about mind over the matter. And this is the mind over the matter. Here I have changed one more saying. British, when they came to India, they spoiled lots of our culture. And they have given us a very bad saying that healthy mind lives in a healthy body. Right? All of you agree to that? Healthy mind lives in a healthy body? Absolutely wrong. Totally against the mind over the matter. It is the healthy mind which makes the body healthy. Okay? Not the other way around. Only when the mind is healthy, body will be healthy. So it is healthy body is created by healthy mind. Healthy mind will not live in a healthy body. If the mind is healthy, it will make the body healthy. And that is what you should understand as a yoga therapist, naturopathist. Okay? Next. So how pranayama works, there is something called a sinus arrhythmia. Whenever we breathe out, heart rate goes down, blood pressure goes down. Whenever we breathe in, heart rate goes up, blood pressure goes up. And as you see, most of the pranayamas, prolonged breathing out is there. Remember Nadi Shodhan pranayama, what is the ratio? Breathing in 1, holding the breath 4, then breathing out 2, holding the breath again 2. 1:4:2:2. Okay. Next. So asana and pranayama will cure the body, but who will cure the pranayama is your mind. Next. Keep on moving next. Now please let me know when I am exceeding the time, please. Next. Yeah. But asana and pranayama, now wait here, is preparatory aspect, and what actually is yoga is meditation. Very clearly it's mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat, jnanat dhyanam vishishyate, dhyanat karmaphala tyagat, tyagat shanti anantaram. That means knowledge is better than practice. Okay, very, very important. Everybody thinks practice is important. Knowledge is not that important. But you see, the difference between a person who is doing a work for 30-40 years, a new chap comes as a manager, who has never done that work, just read some books, but he has the knowledge, he has ability to apply that knowledge. That person performs with little bit of practice better than that worker and becomes the leader. That person can channelize so many workers. I mean to say, if you don't have knowledge, if you don't focus on knowledge, you can keep on repeating the same work without getting any expertise of it. So knowledge is better than practice. But what is knowledge? How the knowledge will improve? Knowledge will come only by meditation. only by dhyana. If I say that every knowledge of the world is there in the brain, do you agree with that? Sounds very metaphysical, right? We have to read the book to gain the knowledge. But all these rishis were saying that whole cosmos is there within this microcosmos. Could you believe that? Do you have any proof of it? That whole knowledge is there in the mind? Yes, you do have the proof. You never bothered to look at it. From where Newton got gravitation? From where Einstein got relativity? From where Archimedes got Eureka moment? From where Kekulé got Benjamin structure? From where Ramanujan got all the mathematical theories sitting in the temple? It's all in the mind, and that comes by meditation. So meditation is better than knowledge. Then what is meditation? Everybody knows concentration is meditation. You might be knowing the definition. Can somebody define meditation in the group? Can any of you participate, please? Rather than simply sitting. Anybody? Can you participate? What is meditation? Okay, Patanjali definition of meditation. No? Yeah? Yeah? Very good. Tatra prayaktanata dhyanam. But where? Tatra. Where? Dharana. Very good. So, very nice. Next, go to next slide. So, tatra pratyaktanata dhyanam, and where it is? Desha bandha chittasya dharana. Holding your chitta at one particular space is dharana, is concentration. And continuity of that, how much continuity? Is there any time limit? Do you know? There is a time. They say minimum 30 minutes. Okay? Minimum 30 minutes. If you keep thinking about a single thing, then only you can say that you are practicing meditation. Till then, you only have to say, I'm trying to meditate. Okay? If you are not able to hold your thoughts for 30 minutes, you are not doing meditation. So don't blame meditation that I am practicing meditation every day, but I am not getting the benefit. Because the benefit of meditation is infinite. Okay? Anything and everything comes through meditation. Okay. Next slide. How do we meditate? Okay. Okay. You can skip all this, it will become fast. Hold it here. It's highly effective. Meditation, lots of publications are there. Increase in cerebral cortex thickness. Okay. Increase reasoning, increase calculation, increase problem solving ability, increase attention. The most interesting thing what was found by meditation is amygdala. Amygdala becomes smaller. You know what is amygdala? Amygdala is your stress center. It is the one which makes you see through the eyes of others. Whenever you do something and think what others will be thinking about it, your amygdala is active. All of our social behavior is because of amygdala. If amygdala becomes totally small and not much active, you will remove all the clothes and run naked to the forest. You don't care about anything. That is what. You only know the story of Pandavas went to Vana, right? At the end of their life. Everybody went to Himalaya and they died there. But you do not know what actually happened. This Yudhishthir was practicing meditation so much that he totally forgot the connection with anything and everything. And he removed everything and just walked out from his palace. Seeing his elders brother walking, everybody started walking behind him. And that is why only Yudhishthir reached to the heaven with the body. Because he was the only one who actually could control and destroy his amygdala activity. Okay. Next slide. So there are lots of evidences. I just have put it there in the Impact Factor Journal. Go on. Next. Please let me know when my time gets over. Okay. Because I really, Okay, you can search and look around. Go on, just going next slide, next slide. Yeah. Keep on, I spoke enough about meditation. So, yeah, another thing here. Here comes the, again, point to ponder. People say that do we need to get trained for meditation? Why shall we go to meditate? And do we need to meditate? Everybody is achieving lots of things. Ambani became Ambani, right? And whoever became whatever. Did they all meditate and become that? Or Newton got gravitation, or Ramanujan got so much of mathematical. How did they get it? Did they all meditate? If they did not meditate, they got everything just by like that. Can we also not get it? So here this understanding comes that our ancestors realized that what is the best state of mind, and every Tom, Dick and Harry, how every fool can become a genius, and that process is called meditation. Okay, anybody can become a businessman, but why do we go to MBA college? Anybody can become a doctor, but why do we come to the college to get trained? Because if you follow the process, you will become better than what you are. Because at the end, yoga karma sukoshalam. You become skillful in your action, whatever you perform. Next. Okay, now here another thing comes. This is another very, very important thing. People don't take care of it. Concentric versus eccentric hypertrophy. You see Sachin Tendulkar, Vishwanathan Anand, they became expert of their field because of meditation. Okay, 24/7 only one thing is running. It's not meditation, it's samadhi. They were all achieving samadhi but that particular thing, about one particular. If you ask Sachin Tendulkar to play chess, he cannot defeat even one person. Likewise, Vishwanathan Anand cannot play cricket. But when you meditate, when you just watch your breath, nothing else, then there is seen that there is a concentric hypertrophy. There is a concentric growth of synaptic connections all across the cerebral cortex. And you are very much prepared to do whatever you want to do. Whatever task you jump into, you will excel in that. That is the impact of meditation. Okay? Yeah. So being born is a matter of chance. Dying poor is a matter of choice. I am talking about faculty of brain, not the money. Okay? So change, next.
Dr.
Go
Kunal,
fast.
so another 1 minute more.
Yeah. Go on fast, please. Go to the last, just go on putting it. Yeah, yoga works on subtler aspect. Go on. Yes. I will sum up my talk with yes. So, how the disease causation happens. As sir just touched upon it, I'll explain it. I'll take one extra minute, then 1 minute. Okay. So, first disturbance happens in Anandamaya kosha. Listen carefully, okay. So, when your Ananda is disturbed, when you are not very much happy anymore, then your Vijnanamaya kosha get disturbed. Vijnanamaya kosha means calculation, reasoning, getting the final result, conclusion. So when your conclusion get disturbed and whatever you do, it does not happen, the result does not come as per expectation. Your Manomaya kosha get disturbed, you are mentally disturbed. When you are mentally disturbed, your breath is erratic, your Pranamaya kosha is disturbed. Then the disease manifestation happens in the body, Annamaya kosha. If we treat the body, but the problem is in Anandamaya kosha, healing will never be complete. You have to start healing the Anandamaya kosha first, then Pranamaya, Vijnanamaya kosha, Manomaya kosha, everything will fall into the order. So don't neglect the Anandamaya kosha. And you remember so many saints and all, if people are suffering, there was a big American rich man called Mr. Rockefeller. Okay, he was the richest person. He was owning like 2/3 of American wealth. Then he was diagnosed of cancer. He was given time of 6 months, he will die. Then what shall he do? He went to one sadhu, one Babaji. Babaji told him, do some charity. He started Rockefeller Foundation and big charitable hospitals and all. And he donated all his wealth for the social cause. And guess what? After 6 months, he was disease free. And then he lived for some 98 or 102 years. Okay, so this is the yogic principle of disease causation. And that's how, when we, next slide is. Next slide. So whatever disease happens, it happens because our brain is reset. Okay. Suppose glucose is high, you take a medicine brings the glucose down. But as soon as the effect goes off, again glucose is up. Who is bringing the glucose up? Same thing happens to blood pressure. Same thing happens to pain. Who is bringing all these things back? It is your brain. Because of the continuous life in stress, brain has been reset to a new normal, a higher normal. There is a big paradigm shift in the brain settings. So who can bring the brain back to its factory setting? I call it, next slide, innate healing. When you practice meditation and shavasana, as previous speaker, Raghavendra sir was also pointing out, relaxation, rest and relaxation. When you practice proper shavasana, proper meditation, then suddenly something gets reset in the brain and you become as you were born. Okay, that is what I call factory setting. What happens when the virus comes into the system? You put a factory setting, computer or phone works like new. Same thing happens to your brain. Keep practicing meditation and keep following proper shavasana. At one point of time, it might take 2 to 3 weeks or 2 to 3 months. But if you are doing it with dedication, there will be resetting and you will be back to normal. Disease does disappear. There is no gradual fall in blood glucose. There is no gradual fall in high blood pressure, but they just disappear at one point of time. Okay, that is what is evidence shown. Yeah, this is what I call innate healing. Now you can go to the last slide.
There.
Okay. Good to start the practice as early as possible. However, it's never too late. Okay. Last class, just to go on. All these are the reference slides, so just go on putting it. Meta-analysis is the top level of references, so most of my points have come from those meta-analysis. If you listen to your body when it whispers, you don't have to hear it scream. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kunal. So, 3 or 4 takeaways. As a clinician, I always look at any lecture or presentation, how I can put this into my clinical practice. That's what most of the clinicians would be looking at. And 2-3 takeaways in this lecture is, practice asana as long as 1 minute, and practice pranayama before asanas, and also continue throughout the practice. And meditation at least for 30 minutes, which would help in reducing the stress and other factors. Thank you very much for your lecture, and we should go into our next speaker.
Coming to our next speaker, it is my pleasure and privilege to introduce a distinguished clinician, academician and leader in the field of yoga and naturopathy, Dr. Vanitha S. Shetty ma'am. With over 24 years of clinical experience and 20 years of academic leadership, Dr. Vanitha ma'am currently serves as a principal and chief medical officer of Alva's College of Naturopathy and Yogic Sciences, Moodbidri, one of the leading institutions in the country, nurturing more than 500 undergraduate and postgraduate students every year. An accomplished scholar, she holds an MD in Clinical Naturopathy, a Bachelor's in Naturopathy and Yogic Sciences from SDM College, Ujjire, and an MS in Counseling and Psychotherapy. She also earned a fellowship in research methodology and has consistently blended clinical practice with academic mentorship throughout her career. A leader in the academic governance of naturopathy and yoga, Dr. Vanitha is the current chairman of the Board of Studies, Naturopathy and Yoga at Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, Bengaluru, and has served as an academic council member, faculty and PG guide under the same university. She is also an active member of the National Board for Promotion and Development of Yoga and Naturopathy under the Ministry of AYUSH. Dr. Vanitha ma'am's commitment to public wellness and awareness is commendable. She has been instrumental in organizing large-scale wellness initiatives, including a Guinness World Record yoga event in Dakshina Kannada and a mass yoga program for 46,000 students during the International Cultural Jamboree at Alvas Education Foundation. Her contributions have earned her numerous accolades, including felicitations from the National Institute of Naturopathy, Government of India, Pune. Please join me in warmly welcoming Dr. Vanitha S. Shetty, a passionate healer, educator and advocate for evidence-based naturopathy and yoga. I request the chairperson to note the allotted time for the respected speaker is 20 minutes.
A very good evening to one and all present here. A wonderful gathering. First of all, I should congratulate SDM Naturopathy family for organizing 3rd International Conference. And I am also very proud to say that I am the proud alumni of SDM College of Naturopathy. The committee has assigned me the topic which is related to women. And it is equally connected to men, has topic, which is self-healing in perimenopause, scientific insight into natural healing relief, natural symptom relief methods. So before saying what is perimenopause, because I know that here many women are sitting and men also are there. So it is a topic which is related to both men and women. Because women suffer, men give them emotional support that helps to heal. So before understanding a perimenopause, we should know what is this. So perimenopause is nothing but, it is around the menopause. So it usually starts in the mid to late 40s and lasts for 8 to 10 years. The next slide. When we go for the symptoms, signs and symptoms, there are many studies which showed the various symptoms, how it affects, what is the percentage. The one of the study which shows that around 9.9% population is having perimenopausal symptoms, out of which the other study shows around 95% of the people are suffering from any one perimenopausal symptoms and 84% is suffering from lack of sleep. So let us understand what are these signs and symptoms. It's not that everyone suffers from all the symptoms, whatever we say, but everyone in their life, especially women in her lifetime, at least they shall suffer from one of the symptoms. That is the first and the foremost is the hot flushes, night sweats, anxiety, and sometimes she will suffer from depression, mental fog, where we can say that it's a lack of concentration, migraine, headache, and even osteoporosis, the joint pain. And you see maybe your mom or your wife, sometimes they go with the mood swings, irritability. So all these issues, especially a lack of sleep or what we call it as insomnia, one or the other symptoms a woman suffer. Why all this happens? We should understand the physiology in menstruation. So the reason behind or understanding the physiology is mainly the hypothalamic pituitary ovarian axis takes a role. That is hypothalamus, which releases gonadotropic hormone, which stimulates anterior pituitary and releases LH, FSH, stimulates ovary to produce estrogen and progesterone. But any dearrangements occur, or due to the negative feedback, or due to the ovarian follicle starts aging, the estrogen production starts declining. When the estrogen production starts declining, we see all the symptoms of perimenopause. In perimenopause, there are different stages. The next slide. There are the early stage, the mid stage, and the late stage. So when we go for the early stage, it is where we can see the ovarian, the beginning of the disruption starts. That is, ovarian follicle loss begins. Inhibin B increases, where it finds the brain tries harder to stimulate the ovaries. FSH increases, estrogen production decreases, and finally there is a fluctuation in the menstruation. But during the mid-perimenopause, we can see either there is a ovulation, an ovulation or no ovulation. The estrogen and the progesterone, mainly it fluctuates. FSH, LH again increases, and that is sometimes estrogen may spike or drops, but the menstrual cycle becomes erratic. But when it comes to the late perimenopause, ovulation stops. When ovulation stops, the FSH, LH increases and estrogen, progesterone decreases. And we can see either the menstrual cycle becomes irregular or absent. Whenever all these hormonal shifts, either increase in FSH or decrease in estrogen or progesterone, we see lot of symptoms, as I said earlier. So these are called as hormonal shifts. So what are they? When estrogen decreases, a woman suffers from night sweat, hot flushes, and brain fog, which is nothing but a lack of concentration, migraine, or headache. When progesterone decreases, which is progesterone is mainly related to the brain, mood, so there is a PMS like mood swings, anxiety, and when FSH increases, there is irregular periods and fertile changes. So coming for all this, now what are the symptoms, natural symptom relief methods? Being a naturopathy and yoga, how we can overcome? We cannot avoid, we have to go with this, but we are blessed because we are all naturopathy and yoga doctors, and how we can support, and we can support our loved ones. That is, the diet plays very important role. The evidence-based diet, which says that the phytoestrogen, the plant-based food, which is containing a estrogen compound. These phytoestrogens are having, which mimic the estrogens. And all women, we do agree, the beauty part. Everyone wants the parlors or naturopathy when it comes to beauty. Here lies the main agenda of estrogen. The estrogen for women is a happy hormone. It is a miracle hormone for a woman because of the presence of estrogen, the skin glows, the texture of the hair remains, and end of the day, our beauty remains as we are. Or we will enhance the beauty. But as we reach to a period of menopause or perimenopause, estrogen decreases, so our beauty shades. So what we need to do, we have to replace with the food rich in phytoestrogen. So that is nothing but the food which is mainly soya bean, soya chunks or soya milk, flaxseed, lentils, berries, grapes, apple, all this. Along with that, there is osteoporosis. A woman suffers from osteoporosis, so we have to replace our diet with calcium-rich food and vitamin D. So all of us, we are aware, vitamin D, sunlight is the best source of vitamin D. And other important factor is omega-3 fatty acid. That is, omega-3 fatty acids are rich in flaxseed, chia seeds, walnut. If a person is a non-vegetarian, then they can go for a fish. But if they are a vegetarian, even the algae oil, krill oil, but the main source which is easily available is chia seed, flaxseed and walnut. Why it helps? We have seen all the symptoms of hot flashes, depressions, mood swings and the brain function. So these omega-3 fatty acid rich food which stabilize our mood, dopamine, serotonin, and it also enhances our cardiovascular health as well as the hot flashes or depression. The coming for the other treatment which we usually follow, that is yoga. And now just a few minutes back we have listened, sir has explained, Kunal sir, what is yoga, pranayama, meditation, how it helps to keep us happy. So by practicing yoga, mainly it helps in endocrine regulation, and because of which there is a activation of the parasympathetic nervous system and reduction in cortisol. So cortisol is nothing but it's a stress hormone. So again, by practicing yoga, we will come back to enhancing, that is all yogic forms, yogic asanas, pranayamas, meditation, relaxation. It enhances emotional well-being, it reduces the hot flashes, anxiety, depression and other symptoms. Coming with the other system, that is acupuncture, which is my favorite subject too. And we have seen whenever we give acupuncture, the patients usually ask whether you are doing any black magic. But body heals itself. We are the only mediators what we are doing by stimulating the specific point. We being a naturopaths, we know there are specific points for sleep, specific point for relaxation and specific point for analgesia. But the recent studies which shows that by stimulating a specific point, that is Hegu, Li4 and Sanin-Jiao, spleen 6 and Taxi, kidney 3, which mainly there is an activation of nervous system and endorphin release. Endorphin is nothing but it's a natural painkiller. Because of which there is a regulation of hormone, that is what I said earlier, estrogen and progesterone mainly acts on the HPO axis. So HPO axis is the main focus have to be there with the HPO axis, because if HPO axis is proper, then estrogen and the progesterone production also will be balanced. So acupuncture helps to overcome the perimenopausal symptoms. Coming for a massage therapy or hydrotherapy. When we go for massage therapy, we give different types of massage. It may be Swedish massage, or it may be deep tissue massage or reflexology. So what happens when you do a massage? It helps to improve the circulation and blood flow, because of which there is a reduction in the muscle tension and stress, and this elevates or activates the parasympathetic system, and finally it helps in overcoming the perimenopausal symptoms. And coming with the last therapy, that is hydrotherapy. every one of us, we study when we go for hydrotherapy. Because we, being a student of Sujata ma'am, we always remember Sujata ma'am for hydrotherapy. There is a vasoconstriction and vasodilatation. So when it goes to a hydrotherapy, that's mainly there is a vascular pumping effect which helps in endorphin stimulation and improves the circulation. Because of which there is a reduction in the inflammation, muscle tension and stimulation of the parasympathetic response, and finally it helps to overcome the perimenopausal symptoms like hot flushes, anxiety, depression, fatigue and muscle cramps. And finally, coming for the final slide, we were seeing all these things because natural symptoms relief methods. We cannot avoid perimenopausal symptoms, but how we can go about it? That is just by taking anti-inflammatory nutrition plan, where we can also add some of the anti-inflammatory food, that is ginger, garlic, turmeric and foods rich in antioxidants, and avoid pro-inflammatory fruits like once in a while, or you can have, it's not that you should not have, the food rich in caffeine or junk food, even the what we call fried items. So all this which causes pro-inflammation. So all this food should be avoided, and we should increase the anti-inflammatory foods, and we have to reduce the stress and improve the hydration and reduce the toxins exposure, regular exercise because endorphin release, either yoga, swimming, walking, any one sort of exercise, and good sun exposure, prioritize good sleeping habits and support adrenal health. So how we can support our adrenal health? We know adrenaline which helps for us the fight and the flight mechanism. There are 4 happy hormones in our body. So we should know how to enhance these 4 happy hormones, then any disease we can overcome. If we suffer, we can reduce the sufferings. That is nothing but it is dopamine, endorphin, oxytocin and serotonin. How the dopamine, when we say it is dopamine, it is a reward chemical. So how you can enhance your dopamine level? By eating a good food, achieving the goal, completing the task and self-care. Always self-care is nothing but being on the girl side. Somebody appreciates you or not, but in psychology we say feel good factor. You should be happy, you should be feeling good when you stand in front of the mirror. That is a feel good factor, which is nothing but it's again a dopamine secretion. And coming with the endorphin, so endorphin is analgesia where exercising, burning yourself or any activities like walking, swimming, and when we listen to music you feel good. And other modes are watching movie because 3 hours you forget yourself, and laughter. And oxytocin. Oxytocin is a love hormone, everybody is aware about it. That is nothing but by socializing, petting the animals and by helping others, we can enhance our oxytocin. And other hormone is a serotonin hormone where we should keep our mood stabilizing because there is lot of mood fluctuations in perimenopause. You say that you see the irritations, mood swings. So how we can enhance is by sun exposure, mindfulness. Anything, everything you do, do it mindfully. Be it watching, be it talking, or be with any activity you are involved, do it mindfully. And meditation and be with the nature. So with all this, we can reduce our adrenaline, we can enhance the adrenaline because the adrenaline which helps us to keep us happy and free from perimenopausal symptoms. I think all the guys sitting over here, now you can understand your mom, you can understand your wife better, because no more mom or wife will say, you just say that she always irritates. Mom always irritates. You will never know what is going on in their body. Now, after listening to this, I hope you truly understand and you can help and support your better ones. Once again, my sincere thanks to organizers for giving me an opportunity, and special thanks to Sujata ma'am for considering me. Thank you one and all.
Because that's the biggest area which is many of people, women population are suffering. As also she clearly said that it's not only the problem of women, it's also a problem of men. Absolutely. Because if the wives are getting stress, automatically it puts on to the stress to the male population also. So it's a problem of both. And we are all know that the change in the lifestyle is the one which is creating a lot of problems in this perimenopausal duration, time. Because if you look back at some 20, 30 years back or 40 years back, so the signs of aging or the aging was a smooth process. So they used to, from the menarche to menopause, they used to pass smoothly without having any hurdles. But as the age advances, nowadays we are facing a lot of these problems, and women are coming out with many problems which they are not able to solve by themselves. The main reason is for the change in the lifestyle. So as in the morning, both the speakers, means in the first session and the afternoon, both the speakers have spoken about mind over the matter, and the another one spoke about the sleep. So we know that the diet plays a very, very major role in this perimenopausal time, and even the sleep also plays a major role here. This is the lifestyle change which is happening. We are resorting to erratic food habits, and also we are not able to sleep at the proper time and not able to maintain this normal sleep hygiene. So this wake sleep cycle getting disturbed, and this is what is causing a lot of these problems. Even if you look at, even the follicular levels are keep coming down during these times when compared to the previous times. So hence she suggested the diet is the very, very important role. We have to correct our lifestyle as a whole. It's not only the practice of yoga, or it's not practice of asana or pranayama meditation. The entire lifestyle needs to be changed. We have to get corrected ourselves about the diet, and we have to have a proper sleep hygiene, and we have to have a proper exercise. So always the question asked by the women community is, what is the best age to start practicing exercise to avoid these perimenopausal symptoms? The best answer is better to start at the age of 30, because from the age of 30, the follicular level starts coming down, your estrogen starts coming down and all these things. And when you reach by the age of 40, you start getting all these symptoms. So better is to start correcting your lifestyle from the age of 30, so that you can have a peaceful, menopausal period without having much trouble. So thanks Dr. Vanitha Shetty for highlighting about the perimenopausal problems, and how without using any medications, by using yoga and naturopathy, non-pharmacological interventions, how it can be handled very well. Thank you very much, Dr. Vanitha Shetty.
Thank you to our esteemed speakers and chairpersons for your valuable insights during this scientific session. As a small token of our gratitude, I request Dr. Vadiraj sir to present the memento for Dr. Kunal K. sir. I request Dr. Harish Babu sir to present the memento for Dr. Vanitha Shetty ma'am. I request Dr. Kunal sir to present the memento for Dr. Harish Babu sir. I request Dr. Vanitha Shetty ma'am to present memento for Dr. Vadiraj sir. Thank you all. The refreshments for the speakers, chairpersons and the dignitaries has been arranged in the boardroom. I request the PG and UG in charges to guide their delegates to the venue. Everyone, please note there will be alumni meet in the Matushri Ratnavarma Hegde auditorium at 5:50 p.m. There will be inauguration followed by today's theme regarding empowering future doctors. There are speakers addressing different topics. So I request everyone to attend the session.
Kindly note, whoever has registered for poster presentation, submit it Patanjali Yoga Hall as early as possible. I repeat, kindly note, whoever has registered for poster presentation, submit it at Patanjali Yoga Hall as early as possible. Thank you. And we have culturals at 6 p.m. at the same venue, so I request everybody to be here for that. Thank you.